All right, welcome to the Tribe Digital Marketing Series. Today, we are joined by LeadMD's Chief Marketing Officer, Andrea Lechner-Becker. Andrea, welcome.
Hi, thanks, Josh.
You're welcome. All right, so what we've been doing is just talking to the LeadMD Tribe about a couple of things. One is what they're most passionate about in marketing. We are a marketing company after all. And two is just offering some advice to folks who are out there in marketing land trying to pivot their resources into digital marketing with the changing landscape around COVID-19, I guess we'll call it. So first, we'll start off very simply. What are you most passionate about in marketing?
I am super passionate about people doing things that their customers actually want. So thinking about your customer and what they are looking to achieve, and then how you can help them. So it's not a new idea. Everybody talks about it, but it is incredibly challenging to execute well.
And why do you think that is?
I think people are always looking for, like, the number of times. So I've been at LeadMD for over 8 years, and I spent the first majority of that time, over 6 years of that, working as a consultant. And I think the number of times that a client asked me for my best practice was, I don't know. I've probably been asked the question of, like, well, what's the best practice? 1,000 times.
You and me both.
Everyone wants the silver bullet. Everyone wants to know what's going to work, and they want somebody to just tell them what's going to work.
Yeah.
And the best marketers that I talk to and visit with, every one of them goes and talks to customers. They don't, this is almost like counterintuitive for consultants to say, like, don't just talk to consultants. Like,
right.
Of course, we can help with a lot of things. We can help expand your knowledge from other industries and what is working there and what you might want to test and try. But one of the best cheats you have is just go ask your customer what they love about your product, your service. Like, go talk to them, because they're going to do a way better job than I am of telling you what your unique value proposition is.
Got it. So it sounds like you're pivoting a little bit into the back half of the conversation here, which is focusing on things people can tactically do to pivot their marketing strategies. And you mentioned, 6 years as a consultant for a marketing company, and now a couple of years on top of that as a marketer for a marketing company. What, going and talking to customers is obviously one of the cheats that you have right now, but what do you think that message is right now during this time, when people might be a little hesitant?
Yeah. So I'm on a rampage against any more invitations to digital events.
Right.
Not to webinars. There is a distinction between people that are doing webinars that are education focused versus these digital events.
Sure.
Which, and there's been some dialogue on LinkedIn regarding what I'd like to see instead. And What I said is, it depends what your buyer was going there to do. Right? Like, if you're replacing your annual conference, some in-person event that you were hosting, with something else, you have to understand why people were going there to begin with.
Right.
So if they were going there for education, you probably replace it with some webinars that are very explicit to the sorts of topics that you were looking to cover. If you have people, most executives are not going to your annual event for education.
Correct.
They're going because you've offered them some sweet experience.
Right.
Or to network. Like, those are primarily the two reasons that executives are going to your experience. You just aren't going to be able to reproduce either one of those in your digital event. So one of the ideas that I had was, like, if you know that people are going there to network, then set people up with a roundtable virtually for networking, or figure out a way to hack what people were going to your event to do in the first place, and sell that into them. Don't just blanketly be like, we're going to have a digital event and it's going to be great. Like, I just don't care, like, I don't really understand what's in it for me. So never forget what's in it for your customer, and think about that before you send them, or before you pivot into something that you're doing just because everyone else is doing it. Because that's what it feels like for me as a buyer, is like, okay, so you're doing a digital event too? Cool.
So I'm interested in that concept of the executive roundtable or the executive experience or whatever that may be. Is it really along those lines of, the higher up you get in your career, the lonelier it gets?
Yes.
Okay. So you're trying to, okay, that's great. That's what I'm looking for. So it's just that concept of bringing people together that can allow you to bounce ideas off of who's in your role doing your thing.
Yeah. And I think the other thing that's super interesting and not a lot of people are talking about, but Marketo has this thing called Fearless 50.
Yep.
And they made a call out for mentors, right? So like, would you like to mentor some of the Fearless 50? And I signed up right away. So things like that, that wasn't, and I'm sure the guys that coordinated it are going to be like, it was really hard,
Sure,
really challenging and time consuming, but like, it doesn't feel hard, and it feels like something that has a value to your, Fearless 50. And to me, I love mentoring and talking to people.
yeah,
So it's like just setting that up. Like if that was what somebody did as a byproduct of having to cancel their big event, like that would be impactful. That would feel like you gave a shit about the
right.
actual community that you're trying to build. Like that's smart.
Yeah. No, I love it. It's it is actually super actionable, and I think it's something that anybody could do. And while it may sound like a generic overlay of, oh, we'll do this, that's actually the opposite of what you're saying. What you're saying is you need to think and engage with these people at their level. You can't just say, oh, I'm creating an executive experience. That needs to be tailored around those people very specifically and what it is you're trying to accomplish. And that message needs to be communicated clearly to those people. I don't think just blanket sending out an email to 10 executives is going to have the right, impact that you're trying to solve for here. So it really does come back to understanding those people, what's in it for them, and how you can tailor something to that group of individuals, whatever it is.
Yeah. And it's a great opportunity with shit getting canceled and budgets opening up to just be really creative. So yeah. I also sort of snarkily said in my post, like, we all know people are having a problem finding toilet paper. Like, I'll send you a roll of toilet paper if you take a meeting with me. I mean, I don't know, like, get crazy, get creative, be a marketer, be a creative, innovative human being. It's a great opportunity for us.
Yep. Well, it sounds like what we don't want is the title of the speech I gave the one time: magic buttons, unicorns, and what was the third one? Magic buttons, unicorns, and silver bullets. That was it.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, none of that.
No.
All right.
Get smart.
All right. So key things then. We're going to talk about mentorship potentially. What's in it for them? Those are things that people could really drive towards. As you get higher up in his organization, it gets lonely at the top. So create digital experiences for people that are about them and what they're trying to accomplish.
Yeah. Good.
All right. I like it. Thanks for joining.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks.
You'll see yourself on LinkedIn tomorrow morning.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right. Thanks, Andrea.
Thanks. Bye.